Hey guys, it's Matt here. It is Saturday, August 15th. Uh, don't have much to do, so I'm going to make a video on the remainder of the week. I think the last video I made was Tuesday. So we'll talk about the rest of the week and what I did well, what I did poorly, and then some things about the TraderView account, or sorry, CMEG account. So this is what my August looks like so far. It's not a great start to the month. It's not bad. It's not fucking terrible drawdown or anything. So gross, I'm up 153.50, and that was my cat. If you heard that, so I'm up 153.50 at the end of end of week two, which is again not great. You can see I had some really bad days, but some pretty good days as well. Um, so let's take a look at let's just take a look at my journal for the rest of the week, and I'll just kind of go through this. So Tuesday here is the last video I did. I think I already covered these trades. So there were two in the morning and then one VXRT short in the afternoon. Um, Wednesday, I literally just sat on my hands, no trades at all. The watch list was crap. There wasn't anything organically shortable in CMEG account. Um, and then down here, I've been playing with some numbers, and since June 15th, which is really so that's 2 weeks after I started my CMEG account. And the first 2 weeks, I was just trading like a complete retard moron because I just couldn't handle the new account and the share size, and it was freaking me out. Um, so what I noticed though is that I'm averaging a positive profit with short positions, and I'm averaging negative with longs, which could be a matter of just the way the market is right now, the small caps, and they just kind of, or maybe that's always that way. Maybe that's why there's a lot of short bias long cap trader or small cap traders, because um, they tend to just fade. They hit those resistance levels, and then eventually they fade off. I mean, how many small caps do you know that turn into high price stocks? Not many. So maybe that's just the bias. Um, I also noticed that if I could, since that June 15th date, if I could just reduce my 4 or 5 largest losses by like 25%. So if it's a $400 loss, make it a $300 loss, or whatever it is, right? Um, that my per share average improves hugely from that. And again, that's only reducing those 4 or 5 trades by 25%. So basically, I mean, my my system of managing losses is not working. Um, and I've got some thoughts on that. I've talked about that before. I just wanted to put some numbers to it. So my per share average goes from like 0.02 to around 0.05. So that's nice. Also, we'll talk about this more, but my prop report has shown me that the commissions in this CMEG account are still just killing me. So, like, when you see some of the guys online do these small account challenges, and they're successful traders, and they're used to handling big size, and you know, they've got huge bank accounts. Let's be serious, but they're doing a $500 CMEG challenge, um, or $1,000, $3,000, small account challenge. If all you have is $3,000 to trade with, you're not going to trade the same way that those guys are. Because if they blow up that account, they can just do it again, right? Now, yeah, sure, they can show you that by the numbers, if they, you know, take the large enough share size, and then have a couple of winners out of the gates, that yeah, you can take a small account and build it into a larger account. But um, it's just not it's not a realistic expectation of how the CMEG account is going to go, um, especially if you're not a very successful, I would say, trader who's ready to go into your trades with a lot of share size. So let's see. That was just more of that. Okay, so Wednesday sat on my hands, right? I did a great job. I was actually really proud with just sitting on my hands. Thursday, I just sat on my hands. No, that's not true. That's what I should have done, but I took 2 trades like an idiot. So I took this washout long. It was a halt resume, I think, on a IGC at $4. I stopped out pretty quickly because it didn't look really that good, and it actually ended up popping back up, which would have been okay, I guess. But I just wanted to take a small loss instead of a large one. And then I took a short on this GRGW, which it was at its pre-market high, so I figured that was pretty good. But it was kind of low volume, and so I put this quote at the top. I like this quote. It's from one of the books on Jesse Livermore, where he says, "Thus I permitted the hankering for activity to replace common sense and judgment." And basically, what he was saying was, I was fucking bored, and I wanted something to do, so I started taking trades instead of realizing that, oh, these are good trades that are likely to make me money, so I'll do these, and just waiting for that setup. He just was bored and wanted something to do. So that's basically what happened here Thursday, and I'm down $158 at the end of the day, right? There was nothing good to trade in the afternoon, so nothing going there. It seems like when I get these two kind of slow days right in a row, where there's nothing on like the stocks in play is organically shortable in CMEG, and they don't turn into long plays, it's really hard for me to sit on my hands the second day. So that's just something I have to get better at. I have to get much more patient at just sitting there doing nothing, which is hard because with a small account, you feel like you got to go out and make money. Friday, I had one trade, and it was an $80 winner. So there wasn't much good on the watch list again, but RKT, Rocket. Here's the thing: right out of the gates, it popped up pretty quickly, and I saw it hit resistance at 20 and a half, and I didn't take it. It flushed down, and then I ended up getting back in, not back in. I ended up getting another shot at getting in. 200 shares at 19.95. It just looked really heavy, and it was a pretty good trade. It broke. The one thing I didn't do is I didn't. My exits could have been better. They could have been in the right places rather than. Well, it was a mix of I was too greedy. So like this last one especially, it cracked down below 19, and I didn't take profit, and then it went back up again above 19. And just never, it stopped me out at 1953. I was basically doing like a trailing stop at that point. But really, it would have just been better to see, okay, this thing cracked 19, just take your profit and walk away. Instead, I was thinking, well, if it cracked 19, it could crack 18, and I was holding on, and it was a mix of greed, and then when I didn't take it at the sweet spot because of greed, and it backed up on me, then I was taking it at the top of that because I didn't want to give back even more. So it just didn't manage it very well. But still, I mean, it's an $80 trade and on 200 shares, so that's pretty nice. And just in case you're not used to TraderView, this means it's 200 each way. Total volume is 400. So total volume sold, total volume bought. Put those two together. So 200 each way. Okay, let's look at some stats because this is fun. So far this month, I've got an average per share gain of 5 cents per share. That's actually pretty nice. I'm kind of happy with that. You can see my win rate's a little lower than I'd like it to be. I'd like this to be in the 70s or 80s. These numbers aren't too bad if these two, my average winning and average losing trade, aren't bad if my win rate was higher. But overall, again, this number means a lot, right? And then, total up 153.50, right? So let's take a look. And if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I put this image up here just to block the information that's up top on my prop reports page. Why anybody would think I don't know, like, if you think I'm faking it because I have an image blocking that stuff, well, then go watch somebody else's video. Why would you fake what I'm about to tell you? Which is, remember that on TraderView, oh, you can't see it, the image is just in the way. Remember, I'm up 153.50 for the month of of August, right? But in my actual, that's gross. Net, I am down $7.15. So here it is again. This is the gross, up 153.50. Commissions are 147.50. And then ECN fees, other miscellaneous fees. The whole thing puts me down $7.15. So this is the reality of trading in a CMEG account, right? Now it could be, you could make an argument that maybe it's like that in another account as well. Uh, but man, the commission structure, because I'm trading small share size, the commissions are really eating it up. And so I'm at the point where I either just have to size up and go for it and either blow up or work my way out of this hole, or I have to dump a lot more money into this account and then be able to size up and take some losses, but maybe not blow it up. Or I have to close the CMEG account and go do something else. Like, I don't know, open a couple of different accounts at a couple of different brokers that have better commission structure. Like I had an Interactive Brokers account back in the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I think. Um, Maybe look at that again and just try to, be more selective and play within the confines of the PDT, because yeah, this just numbers wise isn't working out. So something's got to give here. And I've said this a million times. It's just, I'm a relatively new trader. I'm not super confident in my abilities, and so it's tough to just go crazy with size right now. Right? It's tough to just make that leap. So here since 6:15, which is that's where I started really trading pretty well, like a sane person with the CMEG account. Here I'm actually slightly positive as well. You can see my gross profit is 101.44, right? So let's take a look at what my prop reports tells me from June 15th to the current date. So you can see gross 101.44. Actually, let's do this one, 101.44, this line here. And I'm down $895.34 so far. So that's pretty sucky. I guess my next thing would be to see, okay, with this in mind, how much share size would I need to have been doing to outrun this? I guess it's like 7 times the shares, something like that, or 8 times the shares. Yeah, 8 or 9 times probably, actually, right? You just multiply everything by 9. I mean, that's not taking into consideration, the fact that, yeah, I could have a better system of managing some of my losses and get my win rate up, but interesting. These numbers don't work, so I've got some thinking to do here about whether this CMEG account is really worth the time and effort right now, or if I just need to close it up and do something else. If I do something else, I mean, maybe not even trade. Because if I just don't have the capital to get an account that's above PDT and has some decent commission structure, then what am I doing but giving money to CMEG? Kind of the reality of the situation right now. So anyway, that's where I stand. So if anybody's got any suggestions or thoughts on it, feel free to share in the comments or find me somewhere else and message me somehow. But anyway, I think that's it for today, and I'll keep you guys updated what conclusion I come to.